This is the 8-9 Combo. We're back for a big year of rugby in 2025. I'm Brett McKay, and this is Harry Jones. Hello, mate. How are you?
How's it, man? Yeah, this is one of those huge years. I always liken a World Cup cycle to a PGA event. You know, we have all 4 days, and this is the one you make a cut. You got to make the cut. It's Friday, and then you know things are coming beyond that, which lead to the World Cup. But a Lions tour, a pivotal Six Nations, league competitions that are ferocious nowadays. The resurrection in some ways of some rugby fortunes, perhaps in Sydney. Who knows? It might be the same old. Brisbane looks like the Reds could be quite good this year. And then your standbys, my little Stormers are struggling. The ERC is smashing into the top 4 teams' prowess. There's so many subtopics with the Premiership. What we've got is the incredible wealth of talent with our guests and with our ability to react. So I think this is going to be our best year so far.
It's a very warm welcome back to listeners who followed us wherever they pod over the last few years, and to those who have helped us become YouTubers last year as well. But mate, for anyone just coming across the 8-9 Combo Rugby Podcast in 2025, what is it all about? What does it all mean? What's the 8-9?
Yeah, I'm an old 8, very loose forward, the loosest of all loose forwards. Perhaps the reason why we even have cards in the game. Hail from the Western Cape, and then all over the world, and settled now in America. And you are at number 9, a chirpy number 9, someone who probably had spreadsheets afterwards, in your own right, a good cricketer and such. But we have come together as this 8-9 combination, which is not talked about as much on the rugby pitch or post. We talk about 9-10, we talk about 12-13, we talk about the loose trio, the back. But if you look at rugby, and you actually, since we have the 8-9 combo, I've started looking at that combination more now. It's very interesting. A lot of communication.
It's where it is, isn't it?
Done with someone's back to the other a lot of times. So it has to be telepathic almost. And also, when you look at the new laws and how they're engaged, this is almost lucky for us. It's actually very interesting what's going on around the scrum now with the other 9 retired back. The 8 and the 9 crash into each other more. There's more 8-9 collisions nowadays.
Yes, and it feels like there is going to be more 8-9 play this year. You're right. And first and foremost, what people new to the pod and people who know us can expect in 2025 is the same as it ever was. Great rugby chats every week throughout the rugby year. And we are going to tweak the format just a touch this year. And that's partly from what you guys have told us, and partly for our own sake as well. And the main one there is we're going to stick pretty solid to 2 episodes a week this year. And we found last year that doing 3 episodes a week, often sometimes more than a dozen a month, was a lot of work. But frankly, it might have been a bit too much as well. So in 2025, and I'm really excited about this, our weekly episode with our long list of great guests will shuffle to midweek, and it'll fit nicely there leading into the rugby weekend. But it also allows us to start the rugby week with a new show. And what we've tentatively termed the weekend wrap, it may not be actually named that when we get to it, we'll start the week with a new show that looks back over all the action from around the rugby world each weekend. And we're talking last season's post-mortem pods essentially, but making that more comprehensive, but still covering off all the big moments that happen over the weekend.
Exactly. So you'll get 100 episodes ish this year. And the differences lie probably in that, we found, and I think when you're saying what you've told us, we've had to intuit that sometimes from what the numbers look like, is you like it most, and we probably enjoy it too, when we're immediately reacting to things or very soon thereafter, and we're telling you what we saw just so we can share in the grief
and what it means or what we think it means,
ecstasy or the catharsis. We've had all those things in multiples. And then, on the look forward, and we sometimes want to just talk to someone and not be bound by the event itself. We have fantastic chats with people about how they create a comeback, how they referee a game, how they tell a story in a documentary. And those have been some of our best when we just are separate and removed. And we're just talking about how do you teach young men to turn around a club, how coaches talking, or how does someone, create a good broadcast. So I think all those things are part of this. I also, we've talked a lot about how to bring some of these fantastic characters to you better. And one of those things is to dig deeper with a handful, 5 or 6 guys that we really, really enjoy making pods with. And so we've done that. And we have we're not going to say who it is yet, but there's 6
You'll see soon.
stellar, real rugby studs. And different walks of life, different places, who can really help us dig.
Yeah, and from all around the rugby world as well, which is just one of the best things that we've been able to get out of this for the last few years, is that we've now got connections all across the rugby world, and we know that if there's something that we need to talk about, we've got someone who we can talk about it with, which is really exciting. It is a massive rugby year, massive rugby year, and it's really exciting. We're going to get through. We'll kick off in the next little bit with the Six Nations. Then we lead into a revamped Super Rugby Pacific, the United Rugby Championship, the Premiership in England, the Top 14 in France, the European Champions Cup, Japan Rugby League 1, Major League Rugby in the States, and then, of course, the British and Irish Lions Tour of Australia. Plus then the Rugby Championship and the Bledisloe Cup, all the internationals in July and November. Wow, it is, mate, a very, very big rugby year.
I mean, don't forget Icelandic rugby and Mongolian rugby. We cover that too.
Not very well, but we cover it. So how can you interact with us? Well, make sure you're subscribed and you're following wherever you pod. Make sure you're subscribed and following at the 89 Combo on our YouTube channel. And turn notifications on everywhere so you don't miss a new episode as soon as it comes down. You can follow us on the socials at 89 Combo on Twitter and on Blue Sky. Harry and I are on Twitter and Blue Sky as well, at Harry Bordy Jones and at BMC Sport. Leave us a rating or a review wherever you can, and share us as far and as wide as you possibly can too, please. Thank you. What else do people need to know, mate?
No, just there's going to be a wonderful year. It's about a third of our episodes will have you and I chatting about all things and sundry. A third of them will be about one-off, unique, unbelievable guests, really, from all over the span. And then these other third will be digging in with some characters that you have told us with what you've clicked on, viewed, and watched through are your favorites to interact with us. I think rugby's never been in a more exciting juncture, an intersection almost. And we might be looking at sometimes, the end of these Lions tours. We never know. This could be the final one. So it's something very special about a year where you really don't know what will happen 6 years or 8 years from now. Yeah.
It's really, really exciting. And we can't wait to bring it all to you. This then is the 8-9 Combo, the short side set piece combination you didn't realize you needed in a rugby podcast. I'm Brett McKay. He's Harry Jones. And we'll be back in your ears every week of the rugby year in 2025.
Come play with us.
Here goes Jones with another bruising run. He links up with McKay, who pops back to Jones. They can't. They won't. They will. What a try. The Dream Team Combo go in again.